Hey everyone, today we're going back in time to learn about the Chera Dynasty, a really important kingdom in ancient South India. They ruled over the land we now call Kerala and parts of Tamil Nadu. Imagine a time when there were three big kingdoms in the Tamil lands: the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas. The Cheras were one of them, and they ruled for a very long time, starting around 2,000 years ago. They were known for being strong sailors, great traders, and for loving and supporting art and culture. The Chera kings had a cool title, Vanavaramban, which means those who have the Himalayas as their boundary. That tells us they wanted to rule a vast kingdom. These early Chera rulers built a strong kingdom in the lush green river valleys of Kerala. They controlled important roads and sea routes, making them super important for trade. Because they were right next to the Arabian Sea, they could easily trade with faraway lands. Now, the Chera dynasty had two main parts, the early Cheras and the later Cheras. The early Cheras ruled first from around 2,000 years ago to about 1,500 years ago. Their capital city was Vanchi, which some people believe is near the city of Thiruvananthapuram today. Then came the later Cheras, who became powerful around 1,200 years ago and ruled until about 900 years ago. Their capital was Mahadayapuram, which is now called Kodungalur, also in Kerala. The Cheras really shaped the history and culture of Kerala. During their time, there was a lot of progress in trade, farming, art and literature. Even today, Kerala's unique identity is influenced by the legacy of the Cheras. The Cheras were amazing sailors and traders. They built strong trade relationships with faraway empires like Rome and Greece, and even with Arabia. Their ports, especially one called Muziris, became super important for international trade. Now, spices were a big deal in the ancient world, especially black pepper. And guess what? The Chera kingdom was a major pepper producer. They exported tons of it to Rome, Greece, and other parts of the world. The Romans especially couldn't get enough of pepper. They used it in their food, as medicine, and even as money. But spices weren't the only thing the Cheras traded. They also sold other valuable stuff like ivory, sandalwood, pearls, and beautiful cloths. In exchange, they got horses, fancy glassware, wine, and gold from Rome and the Mediterranean. All this trade made the Chera kings very wealthy, and they used this wealth to support artists, poets, musicians, and religious places. The Cheras' trade with Rome, Greece, and Arabia changed their culture and society in a big way. Sharing goods and ideas led to a blend of cultures, with people adopting new customs and practices. Let's talk about Muziris, a busy port city on the Malabar coast of Kerala. It was like a grand marketplace where the Chera kingdom met and traded with the Roman Empire, Greece, and Arabia. Muziris had the perfect location for trade, a safe harbor and tons of spices and other valuable goods. Merchants and sailors from all over the world sailed to Muziris, making it a vibrant and diverse city. Roman, Greek, Arab, and even Chinese traders visited Muziris, bringing their own cultures and languages. A famous Roman writer, Pliny the Elder, called Muziris the greatest market in India. But Muziris wasn't just about trade. It was a place where different cultures and religions came together. Foreign traders brought new ideas, customs, and religions to the region. There's evidence of early Christian and Jewish communities in Muziris, showing how diverse the city was. Sadly, the exact location of Muziris was lost for centuries due to natural disasters and changes in the Periyar River's path. But guess what? Recent archaeological digs have found traces of this ancient port city near a place called Pattanam in Kerala. The Chera dynasty was famous for its love for art, poetry, and culture. The Chera court was like a gathering place for talented poets, musicians, and scholars. We can learn a lot about the Chera dynasty's cultural achievements from a collection of ancient Tamil poems called Sangam literature. The Sangam poems praise the Chera kings for their bravery, generosity, and support of the arts. These poems also give us glimpses into the lives of everyday people, their customs, beliefs, and the beautiful natural surroundings of the Chera kingdom. The most famous Sangam poem is the Silapa Tikaram, an epic tale about a woman named Kanagi who seeks justice for her husband's unfair death. The Cheras were also great builders. They constructed many magnificent temples dedicated to Hindu gods like Shiva and Vishnu. These temples were not just places of worship, but also centers for cultural activities and social gatherings. The Chera's contributions to art, poetry and culture left a lasting mark on Kerala. Their support for the arts helped preserve and spread the Tamil language, literature and traditions.